Hi, my name is Tabitha Delangelo, and I'm a professor of urban education at the College of New Jersey. I love storytelling and I love children's books, so thank you for joining me today while we read a book together. Hi everyone! Today we are going to read a book called My First Day: What Animals Do on Day 1. Now, I know none of you remember the day you were born, but maybe you could think about what can babies do on the very first day they're born? Not much, right? Probably just cry and stare. Let's see what other animals do on day 1. This book is written by Steve Jenkins and Robin Page. And if you like science stuff, always look for Steve Jenkins. He writes a lot of cool books. This book's published by Houghton Mifflin. And we're going to get started on My First Day. What did you do on your first day, the day you were born? Probably not much. If you were like most newborn babies, you opened your eyes, cried, slept, and drank some milk. And that's about all you could do. Some animals are even more helpless than humans at birth. Kittens, for instance, are born with their eyes and ears closed. Others may have a helpful parent nearby, but are able to walk, swim, or fly almost as soon as they are born. And many animals are on their own from the very start. On my first day, I spent hours kicking my way out of an egg. As soon as I hatched, I was ready to take care of myself. Whoa, that little bird, it's called a kiwi. And he was ready to take care of himself on day 1. Here we go. This is a Siberian tiger. But I was helpless. I couldn't even open my eyes. My mother cleaned me, fed me, and kept me safe. Next, who do we have next? A wood duck. On my first day, I jumped out of my nest, fell a long, long way, and paddled after my mother. He could do a lot on day 1. On my first day, I was born high above the ground, and I landed in a heap. But I wasn't hurt, and before long, I was taking my first steps. You know what that is, a giraffe. On my first day, it was cold. I climbed out of my egg, stood on my father's feet, and snuggled into his feathers to stay warm. That's what an emperor penguin does. Let's see what a sea otter does. On my first day, my mother held me close so I wouldn't drift out to sea. I dozed on her belly while she floated in the waves. See, he dozed. That means he slept. Now, a leatherback turtle says, on my first day, I raced to the water. The beach was a dangerous place, and I was on my own as soon as I hatched. Wow. Let's see. This blue wildebeest says, on my first day, I trotted along with my mother. My herd was on the move, and I had to keep up. Whoa. This is an animal called a sifaka. I'm not sure what it is. It sort of looks like a lemur. On my first day, I rode piggyback with my mother. I'd have been easy. I'm not a very good upside down reader. Sorry about that. I'd have been easy prey for a snake or eagle if I'd stayed behind. Oh, he's saying if he didn't ride on his mom's back, a snake or an eagle could have gobbled him up. That's scary. This is a capybara, and he says, on my first day, I made a splash. I could swim and dive when I was just a few hours old. Wow, these animals could do a lot. The zebra says, on my first day, my mother memorized the patterns of my stripes. If I wandered off, she could find me even among thousands of my zebra herd. And the tapir says, on my first day, I couldn't keep up with my mother. While she searched for food, my striped and speckled coat helped me hide in the underbrush. The California sea lion says, on my first day, my mother and I called back and forth. Now we recognize each other's voices, and I won't get lost among the other lion pups." And the Mexican free-tailed bat said, "On my first day, it was dark, and I was surrounded by a million other baby bats. But when my mother returned from catching insects, my cry and scent led her right to me." This is called a megapode. On my first day, I hatched inside a big pile of leaves and grass. By the time I clawed my way out, I could run, walk, and fly. And the Darwin's frog says, "On my first day, I hopped out of my father's mouth." What? When I was a tadpole, he kept me safe in a special pouch in his throat. I don't know what to think about that. But once I became a frog, it was time to be on my own. I think Darwin's frog is my favorite so far. What's your favorite so far? The manatee said, "On my first day, my mother lifted me to the surface to take a breath. When I was just an hour old, I was able to swim and breathe on my own." I'm almost 50 and I almost can't swim on my own. So this manatee is pretty tough. This is a muskox. And he says, "On my first day, my parents stood guard when danger threatened." And the parent bug said, "And my mother did something most insects' parents don't. She stayed close and protected me and my brothers and sisters." The golden snub-nosed monkey said, "On my first day, I went everywhere with my mother. I clung to her fur as she slept, ate, and swung through the treetops." Well, that sounds fun. And what is this called? A muntjac. I'm not even sure what that is. It looks like a baby deer. But my mother had to leave me to look for food. I stayed very still, and my spotted coat blended in with the shadows. A polar bear says, "On my first day, I curled up in a cozy den beneath the snow. I was safe and warm beside my mother, and soon I fell asleep." Wow, that's a lot. And then look at this. The whole back of the book has more information about all of these animals. I'm going to read more about it. Hey, if you like this, maybe check it out in your library and see if you could find it yourself, and you could really learn a lot. Anyway, thanks for reading it with me today. Bye-bye. Don't forget, you can find any of these books at your local bookstore or at the library.